Hey guys, what is up, and welcome back to another video. Today we are here for episode number 64 of Goattville Updates, and here we are once again in the city, but not on the typical skyscraper sort of stuff. Instead, we are over here working on some new projects, and I've sort of got all of it started, but first let's just recap over the stuff that I've already done in the already known sectors of the city. Did some more work here on these roads. In the previous building video, we just sort of brought out that massive Central Park area, filled it all in with the basic grass and such, and I just put in some more road details around here. Nothing too special with that. But aside from that, another couple small details. This little restaurant that was just chilling right here, I finished the interior of it. So it's got all of its seating and such done. So small simple detail, but it's still necessary. And I also have this little fountain thing outside of the train station. I thought this would be quite nice. We can build a little restaurant right here, and you know, that'd be something nice to have right there. Aside from that, I did add these trees right here, which are just on the back side of the train station. I felt like that wall right there, that smooth, perfectly solid colored wall, like there's literally like no change in the color, maybe a little bit, but hardly anything. You know, it was a little bit boring, so I decided, you know, I'll just put some trees right there, and it really fixed all of that stuff up. I don't know why I made the sidewalk so big, but it did, you know, justify those trees going there. But aside from that, I suppose that's really all else that we've done. I guess we can sort of get started with the new project, which you can see a lot of it's sort of planned out right here. You may be able to tell what it is just from the small amount that I've already been working on it, or from the countless other times that I mentioned it before, but this is the start of the next big project. I know I've started many projects on the world, especially in just the past couple of months, but this is the zoo. And I've been planning to build a zoo. I mean, I had like original visions of it back in like 2012, and I've never actually fulfilled that. But I've been wanting to build one for a while now, so I finally decided to, you know, get around to making this. You know, I wanted to wait until I could, you know, visit an actual zoo to get some ideas and some general understanding of how they're sort of structured, and I've sort of got that idea done. I've made a very general design of all of it, but so nothing's too set in terms of its plan. I'm just going to build it as it goes, because I can't make anything like too permanent, or else, you know, because we do have restricted space here with the museum right there and the road right there, so the really only sort of boundless part is that way. So yeah, I don't have to worry too much about, you know, fitting it all into a small space. I got plenty of space down that way. But yeah, I guess I can sort of give you a little tour of what I have so far. The first thing is there's this little driveway thing right here, and that's because, you know, the parking, there's not really any parking here to the front, and the only closest one is all the way over there by the train station, and that's already being used by probably some of the museums and such. So I figured the best way, that's a bit weird, somebody was glitching out like that, but I figured the best way to do it was to put the parking lots all the way at the back and the very, you know, behind the entire zoo, and we just have this little tram ride which will take all the people from there all the way up to the front, so that they can go in these main entrance right here. I also got these statues of wolves. It probably would have been better for something like panda bears or polar bears or something like that, because those are probably a bit more interesting than just a simple Minecraft wolf, but this was the best statue that I could find that, you know, would sort of look the best, so I decided to go with that, and it actually turned out quite nice. Put some trees on the sides right there just to give it a bit more shape to it, but so far I think this is turning out really good. And then right here, this is the main entrance. It's not completely finished yet. I still have to put a lot of detail up here on the top. Sort of modeled off of the Central Park Zoo entrance. It's pretty obvious. Hopefully it's not too much brick going on right here, but this is the best color that I could find. So here's the main entrance. Here's where you pay your admission and such. And then here is sort of the main central area where everyone first sort of comes in. I've already got work done on some of the shops that we're going to be having around here. It's going to be a couple shops just off the start. This is going to be a little gift shop. So, you know, that's basically what this is. Nothing too much has been done. Just sort of built the general frame of it. Now we just have to put the actual stuff inside. And then there's this little restaurant, which actually is complete. We have the interior done with it. Just a simple little one. Get your food, cook it right there. Pretty simple, but Still a nice addition. And then back here is just a little sort of loading area for all the different stuff that they take in. But aside from that, I also have this, which is sort of the plan that I'm going to have for the different elevations, because zoos always have those changing elevations, and that's certainly what we're going to have here. So as we move down that way, it's going to get a bit more extreme. So this is sort of a design in terms of how the elevation is going to be handled. Right here we just had this little cliff side right there, and I think this looks actually really nice. Much better way of doing fence, hiding it up there instead of right there on the street level. But I guess I can sort of get into describing the general layout of everything. So the first plan that I have, it's not completely solid. I'm not too sure if I'm going to change it or not, but my original plan is that you first come through here, and then it'll take you over like a little bridge, and then in like this massive circle right here, and then around it there's just this ring which sort of dips down, which is the first sort of exhibit, which is home to the 4 original Minecraft mobs, the chicken, the cow, pig, and sheep. I have all the different animals that we're gonna have up there, but I'll get to that later. So yeah, I figured just to have that like right in the center, like all kept in one massive ring. I thought that would be something pretty interesting, better than keeping them all at separate little cages. So yeah, I think that was a pretty interesting idea, but I'm not too sure exactly if I'm going to change it yet. And then as we get farther out, the elevation will slowly begin to increase from just a typical normal city level until somewhere around here, just as you begin to make your way out. And then the different animals that you'll come across will be a bit more interesting the farther you go in. All the way down here, and then there's going to be another bridge going across this road right here, just like there was for the museums. And then over here on this side will be sort of the water area, because it's going to be right alongside the river, which will come down like that. And it'll mostly be just an aquarium, but there'll still be some exterior stuff, and having it right alongside the river would be a pretty nice nice touch for that. But yeah, I don't think it's going to take up too much space, but I do have a lot of different animals planned. Here's all of them. I didn't count them, but it's probably somewhere in the mid-40s. If I was to guess, it'd be somewhere like that. So here are the different spawn eggs. I probably can remember them and go through all of them, but it's just sort of, they're just the spawn eggs to represent that, and then the blocks are just sort of representations of them. So when I go in to plan them, I can just sort of throw the blocks down in terms of where the general area will be. So yeah, that's mostly for planning, and then the stained glass is for the general area that they're going to be in, because I want to keep stuff in their sort of respective biomes, keeping them all together. So the grass is the typical sort of woodlands, and yeah, I guess I can sort of go through and name all the ones. So the typical like plains and woodlands, and just all biomes in general, which is the chicken, cow, pig, sheep, the cat, the horse, donkey, mule, and the other weird horses like that, the creeper, and of course the slime, zombie, what's this one? The Vex? I'm not too sure exactly what that one is. The weird flying one. And then what's this? I forget the name of all these new ones. It's called something like the Ravager. That's it. And then the white one is the polar area, or the more like the tundra with the wolf and the polar bear. So that makes sense for that, and that's really all it is for that. The lime green is the jungle, which has the ocelot, the parrot, and the panda. Yes, the panda. Pandas don't really live in jungles, but it's the closest I could, classify it as. The brown is for like mountains and such, where we have the mushroom and the llama. Then the black is for caves, so that's going to be pretty interesting to build. A lot of these are going to require their own like special buildings. But yeah, for the caves we got the bat, the silverfish, and cave spider. And there's also the phantom down here, which just can't survive in the light, so I kind of have to put it in the cave. Then the blue was the water, of course. You got the standard fish, dolphin, sea turtle, the weird underwater zombie thing, and another one of them, the squid, the guardian, and elder guardian. And then in the nether, which is the red right there, we got the wither skeleton, zombie pigman, magma cube, ghast, blazed, as expected. Then the yellow one is for desert. Nothing really actually is, you know, subjective to Minecraft deserts, but I thought it would be sort of a little interesting detail to add, where we have the rabbit, the, what's this, the skeleton, probably, the spider, and the husk, which is some other zombie variant. And then, of course, the purple is for the end, where we have the enderman, the endermite, and the shulker. So yeah, that's all the different creatures that we're going to be having in our zoo. So hopefully we can fit all of them in a rather nice space right here. But yeah, aside from that, everything else is just really just planned out. Nothing too solid in terms of what I'm doing, but it will be pretty nice, pretty fun to build in the rest of this. I've been wanting to build a zoo for like literally, what's it been? 7? No, it's been... I don't even, my math skills are really showing right now. Yeah, it's been 7 years since I've sort of just, got that idea that I want to build a zoo, and I still have this one image in my head that I kind of want to recreate for one of the areas. So hopefully we can get done with that rather soon. Hopefully within the next couple months I can really begin working on that. The theater hopefully is not going to be an example in terms of how my progress will be, where I just work on it for like a month before eventually sort of moving on to different stuff. But I'll eventually come back to the theater. The theater was a fun project, but you know, the zoo is really catching my attention right now. So yeah, I'll probably be working on this for the next couple of episodes, maybe for like the next month or two. Maybe some other stuff scattered in every now and again, because I don't want to just work on the zoo, but I feel like this will be a fun project, and hopefully we can get a good lot of it done quickly, so we can see the finished project sooner. That'd be nice. We can move on to other bigger things here. Just something outside the city is beginning to look a little bit nice. But yeah, I guess that'll be it for this video. I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye.